Hello, stranger! Time today to pull a very Thew move and get into some early Generation 1. Sometimes you gotta. Now, I feel pretty comfortable saying that G1 is the most broadly beloved bit of the whole Transformers thing, right? Like, it's properly cherished as a cornerstone of 80s nostalgia and general pop culture iconography, which is kind of the reason I don't tend to bother talking about it that much. Because I tend to assume everybody already knows everything about it. Like, how many times have you heard the story? In 1984, America's Hasbro captured the imaginations of kids everywhere when they imported an assortment of Japanese robot toys to become the Transformers.
Diaclone, Microchange, OK-san, Bob Budiansky, oh, GoBots.
You know. And I do find myself mildly estranged from that experience of the early Transformer times. Like, it feels like I'm listening to everyone else's version of events, you know? Because when it all kicked off, I was around, in the sense that I was technically alive, but I couldn't fully enjoy the Transformers launch because I was preoccupied with trifling crap like figuring out how to stand up. And the way everyone's always banging on about the very beginning makes me feel like maybe I haven't been doing G1 right? Like, is my reissue-driven, freebie-drenched Headmasters and later version of a Transformer-fueled childhood still valid if it doesn't quite line up with what the mainstream remembers? What I'm getting at is that I still feel like, on some level, those very first original toys are almost too precious and sacred to even critique. Like, they're not for me, they're for the big kids at the back of the bus. Just be like, yeah, cool, love it, great, and scurry on back to my little weirdo zone with Carnivac and Squeeze Play. But here's what the gatekeepers won't tell you about classic G1. It's a messy bitch. Like, even the most legendary figures have got plenty of weird shit going on. So, deep breath, eyes forward, and let's finally embrace the stupid majesty of Generation 1 Megatron. Yes, y'all, the OG most villainous B-boy is in full effect, and honestly, the fact that it's even in my house is wigging me out. Because in my world, Megatron was somebody who showed up a decade late in a giant green shell suit. Like, I'm pretty sure the UK didn't even get this one. Nobody I knew had one. Not even Johnny, my dad, bought me a Unicron. Woodford tried to sneak that one past. I'd never even seen one in a shop until, like, TF Nation. So up until very recently, I'd had literally zero hands-on time with the G1 Megatron. And I gotta tell you, it is a shit show. Check it out. Right from the moment you look at it, you know something ain't right. It's all like too wide and too narrow. It's just the wrong shape. So naturally, I love it. So the figure that would become Megatron was originally the Takara Microman Gun Robo P-38 Uncle before it transmorphed into Megatron via the miracle of rebranding. And this particular one has got to be one of the copious re-releases, but I don't really know which because I got it loose. Hence no laser gun, but yes sword. Honestly, I'm good as long as he's got the arm blaster and isn't shagged. So it's definitely an interestingly made toy. There's loads of diecast on the go, so he's really heavy for a lad this size. And the construction's so sort of fiddly and mechanical. The whole thing just about hangs together on this miniature scaffold. It's honestly such a blag. Like, the arms and head don't even really attach to the body. They just kind of hover near it and hope to God you don't look around the back. And I have 100% time for that. It's pure theatre. And we know for a fact they started with the alt mode, so the way they've achieved this robot form out of it is just so obtuse and roundabout. You gotta give it up. Anyway, the bod itself is a gloriously gleamy horizontal gun lump, adorned with those fabulous Wild West twirly chest hairs, cheeky exposed electro midriff, and a satisfying shoulder arch. But it immediately collapses into catastrophe the moment you venture below the waist, much like your mum does. Like, look at this dumbass pelvis plinth jutting out like a friggin' belly balcony, complete with this pubic piss pipe and his trigger in just the most inappropriate spot possible.
Touch it.
Has YouTube got an HR manager? Legs ain't much smoother and they're only mildly less disturbing. Check out the massive Decepticon hip chunks. That ass goes all the way back. I love the smooth plastic sheen on these bits, looking like saucy black knee-highs and hot pants showing off a cheeky bit of metal thigh. Just a shame how it looks from the front. Like, the legs are 5 mil wide and a mile deep, and these hideous waist girders are so unappealingly basic. What are you, Meccano? Still, I guess the inside legs are looking pretty slick with these massive deep red panels. Honestly, the colours on this thing are so crisp and powerful. Silver, black, red, done. Also, I love how pretty much all the details are just stickers. Posability's basically not a thing. Like, he's got this reluctant 5-degree hip swing and some basically acceptable but weirdly centered shoulder spin. Arms themselves are just a couple of clumsy gun chunks with these lumpy little fists poking out with strange sideways palm ports. He's also got the eyepiece for the gun mode mounted up near his right hand there, which I believe is supposed to act as some form of fusion cannon. It's the best thing in Transformers, I swear to God. I love how he has to heft it mightily above his head just to point it forward. So alpha. He can also assemble a sort of rudimentary battle station out of the rest of his gun skunks, which just looks sensationally badass. There's also this weird, stupid, over-the-shoulder sniper mode that I can never quite remember how it works. There we go. For when you absolutely positively have to make him look 30% stupider. Also, he's got a sword. Which brings us to Megatron's head, which is its own fascinating little freak show. Because I always found it a smidge strange how everyone else had all these cool Spacebot future heads, and there's Megatron in his daft throwback World War I helmet. So it does feel good to finally see for myself where that came from. It feels good and has also slightly ruined my life. So check it out, the face is looking pretty aggressively grouchy with these spooky glazed over golden eyes with this cool ass three-pronged crown, which is definitely a strong look, but like check it out, right here, that's where the actual robot head ends. And the rest of it, the whole famous helmet, is just some housing. It's kibble. So Megatron's unmistakable iconic character design has basically been misrepresenting a chunk of incidental alt mode crap as his actual head, while his actual head, with the brilliant chunky 3-fin, just got played off as angry eyebrows. Is it me? That's scandalous! I mean, I get it, that's some hefty kibble, you gotta do something with it, but it's played such a huge part in the look of the main villain of the whole show, and it's just a leftover flap. Do you know what that means? Every Megatron since day one to wear the helmet and the heavy downset brow has just been perpetuating a lie that Floro Deary sold the world to cover up for a weird bit of toy design. What the hell's going on? Why do we not talk about this? Did I just not get tagged in that particular thread? You don't respect me. So yeah, Megatron's original robot mode is certainly something. It's got a scrappy, non-standardized early effort energy, and it certainly reflects the feel of the time, and it does pure radiate evil. Sure, it's a sloppy bugger that just barely holds it together, but it does hold it together. Same. Transformation's actually super fun. Like, that whole back and shoulders construct is so satisfying to reconfigure. The metal components feel great, everything swings and slides and clicks in place with an uncomplicated mechanical vim, and the gun mode's actually really nice. It just keeps things dead simple and clean as an eerily true-to-life Walther P-38, with its trademark skinny barrel and all-business build, complete with a clicking trigger and a lovely grip. And all that die-cast weight feels super cool in your hand. I really don't like how much I like this. Anyway, you can bosh the fusion cannon on top to become a little see-through scope thing. It doesn't magnify or anything, but you can look. Plus you got all the add-on gear, like the little shoulder stock, and this lovely long bullet pipe? I don't know guns. There's even a spring-loaded shooting mechanism in there, but it's not much use when you ain't got any of the little plastic bullets. Poor deactivated gunny. And that's kind of it for the pistol mode. Like, it certainly puts the gat in Megatron, and it is pretty entertaining in a morbid way. But you gotta wonder why this is the toy that the Hasbro team picked to be the main antagonist of the entire franchise. I mean, it's famous to us now, but Megatron being a gun really doesn't make a lot of sense. I know this is entry-level Transformers discourse, but it's the G1 Megatron review, we gotta go there. Cause don't you think it would have been easier for everyone if Megatron had just been a tank from the start and skipped the whole gun thing? Partly because of the controversy, the international bans and orange plugs, and the morals of marketing a realistic replica firearm to impressionable kids. It's all very iffy. But like, even in universe, it falls apart real easy. Like, it is classic stuff, and of course I love it. But the whole shrinky down mass displacement thing just requires way too much explaining and techno baggage. And even tactically, it's so dumb that the commander of an army would become a handheld weapon for somebody else. Oh, look out, here he comes, the maniac tyrant, scourge of the universe, punisher of the innocent, Starscream's target master. Yeah, Starscream. You gotta routinely place the outcome of the battle, not to mention your entire life, literally in the hands of Starscream, the verifiable least trustworthy character in anything ever. A man defined by deceit and treachery and disrespect specifically towards Megatron. That dickhead could have just yeeted him out into space whenever he felt like it. How's it going, Dirge? And it doesn't even really make sense in the context of the toys of the era. Because if you must go with a gun, then why go with this stumpy clunkster when they could so easily have gone with Browning, the other 1983 Takara gun robo that they presumably had the rights to, or could have easily got the rights to, with a way slicker and handsomer design that doesn't transform into the gun the Nazis used. So you have to presume they went with this guy because of this? Or this Man from U.N.C.L.E. add-on bunkum? That's more important than the quality of the robot? You're just gonna bung this wiry weirdo in a huge box full of plastic playset crap with a higher price point and patent it and package it and slap it on a plastic lunchbox and now you're selling it. You're gonna sell it. It's almost like the toy industry is about money. But look, I didn't come here today to just slag off your favourite toy, alright? We don't do that here. I just don't know where they get off casting a ponderous pistol punk like this as a main character. Especially next to the timeless class of like Soundwave and Optimus Prime. It's just not on the same level toy-wise, you know? I guess what I mean is that it's just amazing to me that this is our villain. That this stodgy little freak became the Megatron. A character so integral to the DNA of Transformers and the nerd sphere as a whole that it's hard to imagine a world without him. That all those memories, all those stories, all that legacy essentially grew out of such a mid-level C-grade oddball toy with a couple of cool design cues and a bit of an aura. That this awkward little wretch somehow resonated through time and ballooned into a god-tier icon of that gleeful baddie life. All I'm saying is, believe in your dreams. G1 Megatron then. Is he rubbish? Hell no. Is he good? But is he the absolute boss? I mean, yeah. Huge thanks this time to our mate Joshua over in Florida, and indeed, bratatata. Random patron shootout. Well, we did it. That took ages. Sorry about the wait on that. And huge thanks this time to our mate Laura Gilmore for pledging to the show. Thank you, buddy. Yippee-ki-yay, Mother Hubbard.
Be sure to subscribe for more Thew's awesome Transformers reviews. Robocentric vocabugasm.